So there I am browsing the twistypuzzles.com forum when I come across some new puzzle from Ben Streeter called the Praxicopter 3. I click the link and fall in love. How could you not? Look at this thing. My brain is trying to work out how it could turn on faces and edges. It gives up and shuts down, but the rest of me is enchanted. What a gorgeous puzzle. Okay, I want this, but it's only available as a DIY from specialise, which would mean ordering, cleaning, dyeing, assembling, stickering, the whole kit and caboodle. I've never done that before, but I figure I should do it at least once in my twisty puzzling life. I contact Burjo, my Aussie friend from the forum, and ask about the process of dyeing. After checking with Ben that there's no overhang bandaging, I go ahead and buy it. €120 plus shipping turns into 205 Australian dollars. Then the stickers from Oliver's Stickers, $14.50 Australian. Next, I order the required screws and washers from eBay, $11. It only takes a few days and the box from iMaterialise is here. I'm planning to wait for the eBay screws to arrive, but since the pieces are here now, I want to assemble it now. So I buy some screws from Bunnings. I'm there anyway, and the screws are only a few bucks. Before Bunnings, I'm at Spotlight, the home of Rit Dye. My wife knows her way around Spotlight. It's like a hidden kingdom to me. $20. Back home, I open the very large box from iMaterialise to find a very small puzzle-sized white plastic cage with the puzzle pieces inside. Powder is already finding its way onto my fingers. No idea really what I'm doing, so I start prizing open the cage and eventually the pieces fall out onto my desk. First thing, check that all the pieces are there. A quick message to Ben. He tells me I should have 87 pieces. I count them, 87. Move on with my life. Next, lots of cleaning. There's white powder aplenty and it's hiding in the nooks and crannies of the pieces. I need to get a cake skewer to try and get it all out. I'm banging the pieces on the desk hoping it doesn't damage them. I'm not worried about the desk, but some of these pieces are small. After a while, I'm reasonably happy that a lot of the powder seems to be gone. Now my heart skips a beat because it's assembly time. Normally this sends me into panic mode, but today I'm just excited. I can't believe how surreal and eerie it all feels. I'm assembling it now because I want to make sure that the pieces behave as they should and that I can get a working turning puzzle before I dye them. Centre pieces and screws go in first. No washers at the moment. I'll use them on the final assembly. I spend far longer than I should trying to get the first layer done, but after a while it all makes sense and before I know it, the puzzle is assembled. I spend a lot of time breaking in the puzzle, twisting and turning and twisting, tensioning, untensioning, watching a blank TV screen. You know the drill. Eventually it's turning nicely. It feels almost like a normal puzzle. I'm happy with how things are coming along. It's time for a full disassembly. Yep, it's bath time. Water in the saucepan, a squirt of dishwashing liquid, bring it to nearly boiling. Stir for about 10 minutes to try and get any remaining powder off and leave the pieces nice and clean. Into a strainer and rinse to get rid of any detergent. Onto some paper towel to dry. So nice, so bright. And now there's an agonising wait of nearly a week while I go to work and do work things like teaching and clarifying the relationship between pudding and meat. The stickers and screws and washers arrive a few days later to remind me of the joy that's not far off. Finally, it's dye day. Grab a saucepan and hope my wife doesn't notice. Enough distilled water to cover the pieces and then some. 15 ml of vinegar per cup of water and a drop of detergent. And of course the 2 packs of dye. Bring to the boil, add puzzle pieces and make sure they're covered. Simmer gently for around 2 hours and stir every 20 minutes or so. Memories of that cooking class my parents sent me to when I was a kid. Time to take it off the heat and leave the pieces sitting in the dye overnight to soak up that black goodness. Next morning I rinse the pieces as thoroughly as I can and then lay them out on some paper towel. Lots of layers because if any dye lands on the bench, my marriage is over. Later that day, they seem dry enough to assemble the puzzle. This time I have some clue what I'm doing and so it doesn't take as long. I'm breaking it in for a while so that if any dye makes its way to the surface, I can wipe it off. I don't want to have to do this once the stickers are on. Finally, it is time for stickering. Because I want it done properly, I've paid my daughter to do it. A while later, I'm done. Total cost for the puzzle and all materials, $253 Australian dollars. Was it worth it? Absolutely. It's been a fascinating journey. I hope I can do it again sometime. And now, the finished puzzle, Ben's Praxicopter 3. Well, here it is, the Praxicopter 3. I'm very, very happy with how it's turned out. You can see it looks fantastic. And for the first ever time that I've done any dyeing, I'm really happy with it. It was a fairly straightforward process, but just took a long time to get everything done. I'm in awe of Ben and anyone else who can design a puzzle like this. I wouldn't even know where to start. So it was a fantastic learning experience for me. It's getting those pieces and seeing how it all comes together and seeing this finished product. Really quite a joy. So that's great. Now I do want to start scrambling. I have not scrambled this before, so this is the first time. Well, this is me at the moment. This is clearly not fully scrambled at all, and I'm having huge trouble actually scrambling it. This is a good thing. I'm not upset. I'm going, wow, this is going to take some thought. And to me, that is a good sign of a puzzle where I'm actually having to think about how I do this. So I think once my eyes adjust to going, that is the centerpiece of a face, and that is the centerpiece of an edge, or if you like, you know, the middle piece of an edge, hopefully then I can start trying to line things up, because I can see that that means it's got to turn like this, but actually getting it to do that is another thing entirely. There we go, that's lined up. And I think I'm close, maybe like that. I'm close, but obviously something over here is blocking it, and it's this piece, this corner is in the way. So then I think, how can I turn that off or around? But of course this thing here, which is a face, because of that white piece, is now blocked. And the problem that I'm having at the moment is when I go to fix that face, so the face will turn so I can get this corner off, I forget which edge I was actually doing. That won't turn because something, probably, I don't know, see that's come back to where it was now. Maybe if I turn that 180 degrees. I'm really just trying to turn this, and I've lost what I'm doing trying to turn that. Wow, this is going to take some thought. Fantastic puzzle. If I ever do get figured out how to scramble it and how to solve it, I'll be sure to post a video. But hope you enjoyed this, the making of, and the Praxicopter 3.